Hey y'all. Oh, that's Nigeria for you. Well, I'm going to keep going because this is actually very authentic. I'm Kristen, and I am doing this video as part of um, the Facebook group Black Americans Living Abroad. And I'm doing this as a Black American living abroad. Oh, there we go. A Black American living abroad in West Africa. Nigeria specifically, hence the lack of electricity we just experienced there for a second. So I'm doing this, like I said, for Black Americans living abroad, and I'm documenting my experience here as a Black American living in West Africa and teaching here at an American international school. So I hope that you'll enjoy, and I hope that ultimately you'll be inspired. If you are someone who's not currently living abroad, I hope that you'll be inspired to make the move as quickly or as soon as possible. And for those of you who are already living abroad, I'm in complete gratitude to you because I have been inspired by many of your stories. So I hope that you'll enjoy. I'm going to be answering a couple of questions which are on my screen over on the left side. So if you see me looking over there, it's not that my eyes are wandering. Well, they are, but not involuntarily. I'm voluntarily looking over there to see what questions I'm supposed to be answering. So, yeah, so I'll get started. And please bear with me because this is my first video. I don't even know anything about editing or anything like that. So I'm going to do my best and hopefully it works out. There we go again. Welcome to Nigeria. So, there we go. First question, what is your background? What is your professional background? This is quite interesting actually because I did not go to school to become an educator. Did not at all. My undergraduate degree was in social science, and my intention was to immediately go to graduate school for social work to become an elementary school social worker, school counselor. And after I received the bill from Sally Mae, with the amount that I owed after undergraduate school, I knew then that I had to do something different because I just could not, it was just ridiculous, and I could not acquire any more debt than I already had at that time. So I started looking into alternative options, and I came across a program, a really great program actually, called the DC Teaching Fellows. And basically it's a program that recruits recent graduates, which I was at the time, and also career changers, people who were in other careers prior to wanting to pursue a career in education. So I was actually both of those things because I was in human resources before. But I did that program, and it was honestly one of the best professional decisions that I have ever made in my life. It was a really solid program, I have to say. It's not one of those, it's an alternative certification program. It's not one of those quick programs where you quickly get your certification and no, it's a 1 to 2 year program. They really try their best to prepare you for the classroom as much as it's possible without actually being in the classroom right away. But I went through that program, and through that program they provided a subsidized master's degree. And I went to American University in Washington, D.C. and got my master's in special education there as part of the DC Teaching Fellows program. So if you are a person who is interested in international teaching, I would highly suggest looking into alternative certification routes, credible ones that want to actually prepare you to be a teacher and not just push you through. I would highly suggest the DC Teaching Fellows or New York City Teaching Fellows, or there's various ones in various cities, and they all fall under the umbrella of what's called the New Teacher Project. So I would suggest Googling that if you're interested in becoming a certified educator. So, next question. Where am I from? Where am I from? Where am I from? I am from Memphis, Tennessee. I was born and raised there. I will always have love for the city. It's a great little city. But when I was about 21, I packed up my stuff and I moved off to DC, which was another decision that I made in my life that was instrumental in, determining the path of my life. And I could not have asked for a better city to have come of age in terms of becoming an adult. I did undergraduate in DC. I did graduate school in DC. I started my teaching career in DC. I, did a lot of stuff I wasn't supposed to do in DC, and I was there for 10 years, getting into trouble and having fun and whatever else. But I took care of business while I was there too, and I stayed there 10 years. And then I moved to New York City, Brooklyn specifically, the best borough. That is not arguable. But anyway, so yeah, I lived there for 2 years, and while there, I took a break from teaching, and I actually went into school administration, and I was the HR administrator at an international school there. So that experience really helped to shape my thoughts and beliefs about education, working on the opposite end, not teaching, not being in the classroom, kind of being behind the scenes. So that really opened my eyes to a lot of other things that I didn't know as a teacher in the classroom. So really grateful for that experience. Probably the best job I've had in my life, actually. So yeah, that's where I was. I was in Brooklyn before I came here to Nigeria, and I came here in August of 2016, last year. So, what's the next question? I should have made the font bigger so I didn't have to look like a bug in the screen. Okay, what prompted you to move overseas and travel? So, interestingly enough, I have to always segment that word out. I have not been traveling internationally for a very long time. I'm now 34, and I started traveling internationally when I was, I think it was my 27th birthday or 28th birthday. I don't know which one, but it was one of those. And I went to Italy alone, and again, another thing that just changed the trajectory of my life. I'd always known, I've always been very whimsical and very, fly by the seat of my pants, very free-spirited, but traveling internationally, and specifically traveling internationally alone, really opened my eyes to a lot of things. It really pulled at a lot of heartstrings, and just kind of infatuated me and made me, realize even deeper that there's so much world out there that I want to have access to, I want to see, I want to be involved in, I want to meet more people, I just want to do all the things, and that includes, learning about other cultures, learning different languages, meeting people from all over the world who have, different beliefs, different ways of life, la 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 la. So that trip prompted me to just really try to prioritize travel and living life for the experiences of life. And so from there, I just, started Googling different things, and somehow, I don't even remember how exactly, somehow came across the idea of international schools. And I was like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I'm already a teacher, I already have my certification, I have my master's degree, you mean to tell me that these are the requirements for me to teach in many other countries in the world, and I'm not doing it? That was annoying to me. So once I figured out that I had the requirements that I needed to do what I needed to do and what I wanted to do, that was it. I became obsessed. I started staying up ridiculously late at night, which I tend to do sometimes anyway, Googling, looking up stuff, and just so happened one night, I Googled international schools in West Africa because I had just come from Senegal, and I really loved it, and so I wanted to Google schools in West Africa, and I did, and the school that I'm working at now came up, and I knew instantly that I had to email my resume to the director, and those were the instructions on the website. They had the open positions and how to submit, and I did that immediately, within an hour of finding the website and learning more about the school. And he responded almost immediately. I got an interview and an offer, and I turned it down like a fool. But the saying that people say, what's for you is for you, is actually true, because even though I turned down the job, I immediately knew that I shouldn't have done it. I emailed him back and was like, yo, I made a mistake. Is it still open? It was filled by then. And I kind of just kept it in my mind. And eventually, a teacher ended up getting pregnant and not coming back to Nigeria. She decided to stay back in the States, and a first grade position came open. I had initially been offered the kindergarten position. First grade came open, and some friends of mine, some now very dear friends of mine who are actually here with me as well, mentioned it in a group. And I was like, yo, let me email him right away. And I did. And he responded again right away and was like, listen, if you're serious, if you can get your visa documents, and as soon as possible, I will send you a contract. And I did that. He sent me my contract. Mind you, we'd already interviewed, he'd already checked my references before I had, not moved forward with the first offer. So anyway, I had a contract within probably 2 hours of me reaching out to him again, after finding out the position was available. So I really believe in my heart that I'm supposed to be where I am right now, because I declined the position again. I did not move forward with the position before. It came back to me. I'm here now. So this is where I'm supposed to be at this point in time, and I'm sure of that. So the next question, I should have made a drink. But the next question is, would you recommend traveling or living abroad to others? Duh. I mean, it's really a no-brainer. And the thing is, not everybody has access to an opportunity to live abroad. That's just a fact. It is what it is. That's just the truth. However, for those of us who do have opportunities, for those of us who can create opportunities, because there are ways to do that, any way you can possibly create or cultivate an opportunity to live abroad, I would recommend doing it, because there's just so many opportunities to experience life differently, learn about other cultures, meet new people, just broaden your heart, broaden your horizons, broaden your mind. There's so many opportunities when you're living abroad. There's a big difference between traveling to a place and staying for a couple of days or a couple of weeks versus actually making your home in a country other than your home of origin. That's two completely separate things, and I would recommend both, but I would definitely recommend living abroad if you can, if you have the opportunity, if you can create it, if you can cultivate it, if you can network, whatever you can do, try to create the opportunity for yourself, because it really, really is worth it, and it's honestly a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I would recommend it at all costs. So where am I and what am I doing now? So I've mentioned that I'm in Nigeria. I work at the American International School here in the capital of Nigeria. I teach grade 1, and it's very similar to teaching in the States. Actually, there's not really much difference. We follow U.S. curriculum. We use, Readers and Writers Workshop that is a product of Columbia University. We use lots of U.S.-based pedagogies, and I mean, it's just like teaching at home. It's just more resources. Your children, your students are kids of diplomats and multinational company employees and Nigerian elite. That's really the only difference. Otherwise, I could very well pick this class up and move it to any city in the States, and I'm teaching the same as I would there. I have been here since August, so not one full school year yet, but coming upon one full school year, and I intend to be here for as long as it makes sense. I like being here, and like I said, the school work environment, workload, and all of that is completely bearable. I'm not super stressed out all the time. I'm chilling. I have a life here that I would not be able to have in New York City, I can tell you that much. No, just wouldn't be able to happen. So I am appreciative of that. I'm appreciative of the opportunity to save money. I'm appreciative of the opportunity to not have to live paycheck to paycheck, which often teachers in the U.S. have to do, especially if you're living in a major city with major rent like it is in Brooklyn. But I'm here, and I'm loving it, and I intend to be here, like I said, for as long as it makes sense. Let's see. Advice. My advice, if you have the opportunity, if you have an opportunity, I suggest making living abroad a priority, especially if it's something that's pulling on your heart to do. You should make a way, find a way, create a way for you to do it. I don't have any reservations about that. It's just something that if you have an opportunity in your life to do, if you can create it, please do it. I highly recommend it. I have no regrets. I thought I would regret leaving New York City because it's just a marvelous place. I love it. And there are things I miss, but I really enjoyed being here, and I'm happy that I came. Let's see. I think I answered all the questions. that are here. So I hope that I have said something that has inspired you or encouraged you or kind of made you think a little bit more about your move abroad or whatever the case. I really hope that you've been inspired or encouraged. And again, to those of you who are in the group who have been abroad for a while, know that I've been inspired by you.